Thanks for joining us on this Facebook Live. It's just about 2:20 here on Thursday. Wanted to take some time and update you on our winter storm as we're here. And I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Meteorologist Jack Griffin did walk in. We'll hear from him directly on some of those road conditions. He was out in the storm tracker during the day. We've also got Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy that's out checking on some information. And then a meteorologist Amelia Henderson working on the digital side. All of us, of course, keeping up to date on the Winter Storm Live blog, a great place to get information on crashes, road updates, conditions, and more. You can get that on the WCIA 3 News app and on WCIA.com. All of the forecast information and more as well can be found on the WCIA 3 Weather app. Two different apps there. Just make sure we're clarifying that as we see this winter storm move on through. This storm, unlike the last one, much shorter but very similar in the intensity of the impacts here as we're seeing near whiteout conditions now in Champaign. What we'll do is we'll take you on a SkyCam tour. We'll talk about current conditions and what we expect the rest of the afternoon and evening. And then we'll finish up here with some warmer weather in the forecast. I'll tease you on that a little bit here as it seems like we're starting to see the pendulum swing a little more spring. Then winter comes back storming in. Oh, wait, one more thing. And then back to spring, and I think we're going to swing back to spring here by the beginning of next week. Big story now, the snow and wintry mix that is out there. Many of us are seeing snow. We can see that now on our camera network. As I bring that full screen for you, you can see in Champaign blowing snow out there. That's a look at State Farm Center. Lots of cars in the parking lot there. They've got plows that are out. And we'll show you the view from the studio here, too. This one heads, I believe it's looking towards Campus Town right now. There it is. You can see the road conditions there, very much covered with this blowing and drifting snow, near blizzard conditions. What we're seeing now here, and of course, as you're logging on in, let me know where you're watching from and if you've got any reports as well. Some spots are missing out. We're going to take a look at all of our cameras here. I am just checking the chats and taking care of some things there. Let's slide to areas that have continued to see the snow. This is a look in Decatur right now. You can see the layer of ice on the lens. That came down first in many spots, and now the snow is falling as forecast here and sliding even further to the west towards Springfield. Been very hard to see any of that towards the ground. That's looking down towards the ground. You would normally see the state capitol there. There is a lot of snow coming on down here into the region, and so we will see those snow totals add up very quickly. 1 to 2 inch snowfall amounts per hour. That's the snowfall rates. I'll talk about the amounts coming up. We slide as well up towards Gibson City. Can't forget about there on our camera. This one sits closer to the ground. I actually haven't looked at this one in a while. And as it updates, there you go. You can see that glaze of ice then with the snow that's coming down with it. That's been one of the problems with those road conditions, is just how bad the roads have been with the layer of ice and then the following with the snow here. That's a look over towards Bloomington Normal. That's going to be looking off in the downtown area. The snow really coming down there. Pontiac, let's slip up there real quick before we start sliding to some areas that maybe haven't gotten it yet. Some folks saying, we're just getting sleet right now. We're still in rain. And that's expected here as this transition continues to the south end of these. Here's a look at Pontiac, where they've had some good heavy snow. We drop south of Champaign. We go down to Coles County, Mattoon and Charleston. Starting to see the freeze now happen. About a half an hour ago, you could see the rain and some of the first signs of the snow. Danville now starting to see that transition. And then we'll finish up in Mattoon there. Looks like some sleet coming down in the downtown area. And then we'll finish back up last but certainly not least in Mattoon, home of the Green Wave. There we are. You can see it doesn't look like there's a lot of snow there yet, but the cold air pushing on and bringing that transition with the areas there, some of that sleet making it on down. You can see the clouds moving from right to left. That's a north to south motion, and they're really hauling. We've got some strong wind that is in the area. First off, before we get to radar, let's take a look at temperatures. That's going to tell the story. Effingham, Paris, 32. It's 31 in Danville. Those are some of our last holdout spots. Mattoon, Charleston at the Coles County Airport is at 30. And then everywhere else down in the 20s. So we've got that north wind. This is sustained winds, not gust, sustained winds. 20 to 30 miles an hour, if not a little higher than that. And some of our gusts are even higher than that out there. And that is a problem in and of itself. Let's see some of the latest gust reports. 45 mile an hour gust in Mattoon, 33 in Champaign, 35 in Decatur, 24 in Jacksonville. It is breezy out there. And all of that is leading to a mess here into the region with the rain, sleet, snow, and ice. Where the heaviest snow is setting up here, it is very much blizzard-like. I will say this. The criteria for a blizzard is 3 hours of visibility under a quarter of a mile and 35-mile-an-hour wind sustained or frequent gust above that. We are right on the line from calling this a blizzard. I think regardless of that, that's just terminology. That's a technicality. It is very much a difficult day for travel out there into the region as we see the rain and snow here. Heavy snow along I-72 and I-74 now. That transition now east of Champaign towards Danville, Georgetown. I saw a report slip on in there. We've seen some freezing rain and sleet for Douglas, Edgar, and Coles County, as well as off to the south and east towards Shelby and Moultrie. The snow now carrying in on the backside. That edge of the heaviest snow now at the Illinois River will continue to the north and to the east as well. And so that's going to be moving off to the north and to the east as far as things go here. We're going to watch that transition. Still here south of I-70, rain and likely some freezing rain that is mixing on in there here as we speak. Road conditions on the board. I'll pull that map up here. It's a very sharp cutoff. Once the snow and sleet starts, it goes from, oh, it's okay to it is bad. And that's happening pretty quickly here in the region. IDOT has got their hands full. Road crews have their hands full here. We do have winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories continuing through later on this evening into tonight, and then they'll start pulling things back. The heavier snow is to the north, the wind area wide, more of the sleet and freezing rain to the south, but still those impacts, no matter how you look at it, are pretty high on the board for us here into the region. Let's talk about the numbers. Well on our way to forecast numbers here that we've got. This update came out early this morning in the morning show. We're well on our way to 3 to 6 inches here in Champaign. 4 to 8 is our number here from Springfield, Lincoln, Clinton, Bloomington, Gibson City, Paxton, Watsika, Pontiac, and lesser amounts to the south here. And we're kind of seeing that transition in here where lesser to the south, more to the north, but it does a great job of illustrating where. I'll let you know, too, the key to note is these are ranges, 4 to 8. There will be some spots that maybe end up with 4 inches in this area. Some spots, though, 6 or 7, even 8, not out of the question. And so that 3 to 6 inch range does come through Decatur, Champaign to areas, say, towards Hoopeston, north of Danville. Danville right on the line here. We could spend all day talking about the number and where's your location. We'll do the same here with ice real quick. This strip of ice here, seems like most of the ice is done in this area. We saw, especially in some of our cameras, the ice that was there. Further to the south, though, now getting their share of freezing rain and ice on the board as well. But any way you look at it here, we talk about a number. A number is a number. You know, can you really tell the difference between 3 inches and 5 inches, or 4 and 6, or whatever the case may be? The impacts is what's driving this forecast here into the region, and that is going to be bringing dangerous travel through tonight for those roads and travel conditions. There's already been a number of wrecks, a number of slide-offs out there. State police, local crews have their hands full, especially I-57 south of Champaign-Urbana, and then I-74 has had a few problems in town and off to the east. There was an earlier wreck at University. I haven't checked any latest reports, but would not surprise me. We had a number of slide-offs and jackknife semis as well for the storm tracker and I-74 to the north and west here into the region, and so we're going to watch that. Down to the south, that flooding may still be an issue, though I think the impacts and focus on our snow, ice, and on the dangerous travel. I will mention this as well. Ice totals, you could get up to a 1/4 inch in some localized areas here. And with the wind, yes, some power outages may be possible, but a widespread power outage event not looking likely on this here. That's at least the good news from this. You can't rule it out. Local outage here, here and there, there'd be a bit. And while we're looking at that, why don't I just pull up those numbers and see if we've got any. I haven't checked that in a little while, and it has been pretty low overall. We don't really expect many problems here locally from that. Statewide, there's only 1,900. Looks like just a smattering and here and there. That's about all we'd expect on the board for us with the impacts. But the roads will lead the way with travel impacts here. Lots of partially and totally covered roads in the area, according to IDOT. Just checked another update and report from them. Of course, you can get all those updates on the live blog on the WCIA.com website and more. We've been sending push alerts to the news app here into the area. All right, when does it end? The precipitation, rain, sleet, snow, and ice, all of that will be ending here in about 5, 6, 7 hours or so. Let me pull up our future track here. We are starting to see a little bit of dry air, and so that may bring a break for some areas to the south, but we're expecting the snow to continue along and north of I-72-74. And as I bring this up here, you'll see here we go 2:30, 3:30. A little bit of dry air does sneak on in here, but that won't do a whole lot. Those areas already had the forecast for lower amounts. See the continuing snow here as we wrap this last bit around. 5 and 6 o'clock, this is 5:30, still snow in the area. We'll have live updates all over the area on our WCIA 3 newscast at 5 and 6. So be sure and tune in there as well. We start getting to 6, 7 o'clock. Now we're seeing it exit the region. And I think later tonight we'll get some stars and the moon perhaps on the backside here. Wednesday was the full moon, so we're starting to see, we'll see some bright moonlight, I think, especially with the snow that's left in the ground, but it exits quickly here. 6, 7, 8 o'clock, the snow exits the area, and that's going to set us up for some sunshine as we go into tomorrow. However, impacts will not be over when the snow stops. They're still going to take some time here. Look at our wind gust forecast here. The wind's still at 6 o'clock, 30 to 40 mile an hour gust likely. And even 10, 11 o'clock, we're going to see those wind gusts continuing out there into the region. And you'll see here, 9 o'clock, 20 to 35 mile an hour gust will continue into the region. You factor all of that together, especially with plummeting temperatures. Look at this. This is our future track wind chill values into the morning here. 6, 7 in the morning. We've got wind chill values down between 0 and looks like we got a minus 15 in Bloomington, Lincoln, minus 10 in Champaign. Where that heaviest snow sets on it, temperature is going to be bitter cold, perhaps lows down near 0 tonight. Any moisture on the roads will freeze. They'll do their best to treat them, but just count on slick roads all night tonight, and that may very well affect the morning commute tomorrow. Road crews will be out, especially when the snow stops. So you think of it, it stops 8, 9 o'clock, still some light blowing and drifting, still some moisture there, but with that cold air in place, that certainly is going to bring problems, I think, for the morning commute, especially with how cold it gets. There's actual air temperatures near 0. At a certain point, your salt and your salt treatment, your mix of brine, that stuff doesn't work as well. So we still expect some morning commute issues. The good news, though, is that we do get sunshine by tomorrow. That sunshine is going to be a big friend to those road crews. I think by 10 a.m., things will look a lot different out there. That may lead to some delays from schools or maybe some school closings entirely. Also, I think it's a holiday weekend. So many schools may end up having, 4 or 5 day weekend of this with holiday today, holiday day on Monday as well. All right, we've got in the building here. That's my forecast for you. If you want the 7-day forecast, set into the website. We do have Kevin and Jack that are in the studio now here. And so you've got a report for us. Let us know into the chat what you're seeing, but I think we'd like to hear from them. Is that something we can do real quick from one or two of you, what road conditions were like out there? Sure. Jack was out. There you go.
Hey. We are on Bookface. We are on Bookface right now. So, so when I was out there, I was only out there for a brief period of time, but we caught some of the accident video there on 74. And so, again, it was wild because it was just kind of slushy. And there was a layer of ice, and then all of a sudden the snow came, and it was just coming down so hard. And so it was that initial kind of, as people were driving and they thought it was just rain, and then it was like ice all of a sudden, and then boom, there was 4 vehicles. I wasn't able to really get awesome video, but there was a vehicle that literally was in the interstate sign. In the ditch, right there between University and Cunningham. It must have slid off way down in the ditch. It's kind of deep. It's deep right there, and it's actually into the. It must be. I think maybe it's like half-mile marker, half mile to Cunningham or whatever. But
the westbound lanes, correct?
That was in the westbound lanes. So. Pretty rough, and it's coming down so hard right now. It's pretty amazing how hard it's coming down. Now Jack has actually been in the worst of it.
Yeah,
he's been up in the blizzard conditions.
Yeah.
So I'll let him talk about that.
Yeah, so I was over. I went up to Leroy on 74, and then came back down. Took a little bit of a pause in Farmer City, and a little bit of a pause in Mahomet. And it's the whiteout conditions are insane. All of a sudden, you'll be driving, and I'm only going like 30, 35 miles an hour that entire time, and all of a sudden, like boom, like out of the abyss, a jackknife semi is in the median.
I was watching when I saw
that.
that.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, then you know, like you can't stop, so you just keep on going, and so it's coming down fast. I almost will say this though, the roads feel just as icy as they did 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
But the snow that is coming down, I mean, we're going to have accidents, but it almost seems like it's lowering the amount of accidents that we have had just because people are slowing down. Whereas 2 weeks ago, it was just icy, but the precipitation was done and you could see just fine. So it's almost like the heavy snow is helping to just
put that thought in people's minds.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying there's not accidents out there. There definitely are. I'm just saying that compared to 2 weeks ago, at this time in the storm system, we probably actually had more accidents 2 weeks ago. So again, the snow is definitely coming down harder and faster, and the winds are stronger now with this one compared to 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But
and this one's out of here pretty quick.
That's true. So
that's good.
So it's the snow is terrible to deal with right now. It's coming down very hard, but it's just mentally causing people. I have to slow down because they are driving on ice too.
And I think probably people from the last event realized we were right.
And
yeah. They're like, oh, wow, they're saying the same thing. And here we are, folks.
Yep.
You think of Kevin's progression of thoughts.
The progression of thoughts here.
I mean, it's 10 a.m. This looks fine.
This looks fine. I don't know why we're doing this.
Oh, there it is. And
yep.
We're getting closer to 4 than we are the noon.
Yeah. So I know that I've been posting a lot of videos from social media. Kevin has. I know you have too. We've got our blog going.
Yeah, those are all on the blog too. People can head on to the blog now and see some of those videos from you.
It's obviously hard to do that from the road. So
no,
I
I've been just grabbing video from you. And,
yep.
The nice thing about the storm tracker is sometimes people say, oh, it's dangerous out there. Well, one, we're giving people a view of the road so they can make decisions. And number two, when Jack is driving, I can remote log in and I can pull video and I can do whatever I need to from the storm tracker. So he just.
Yeah, I just drive. I mean, it just drives.
Yeah, and in severe weather, he drives and listens to Yacht Rock Radio.
Yacht Rock Radio, yeah. But yeah, this one is pretty much just dead silent. Just full concentration out there. And again, we do this. I feel confident in my abilities when I'm out there, and I know like we all do too. And if there's ever a time where it's like, nope, we can't go out, we can make that call.
And we've done that before.
Yep, we have done that before. As of right now, don't feel that that's the case just yet. So I just came back here to check in and just make sure that everything was good, and otherwise, I was probably gonna head back out here in a little bit. So
I thought maybe we'd get through the year and our blizzard would be like a cookie dough one instead of like we're getting it today. So
it's a big one.
Yeah.
And then it's in the 50s by next week. So
spring getting closer and closer. So we're at least seeing that pendulum swinging now. Spring, winter. Last year at this time, remember we were in that 2 week.
Oh yeah, it was cold.
Every day was just bitter cold. So.
Yeah, so I'm just looking down at the radar here. I'm probably gonna.
You can see behind you as well. So.
Oh yeah. So I'm probably gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna take 74 back out west just yet, but I might take 72 west, go out a little bit, and then maybe try to then shoot north.
Yeah.
Just to get a little bit of a different spot, but I'm gonna try to be back in the area for the 5 and the 6 o'clock shows. That way that we can show the evening commute because it's going to be rough.
Jack's going to pick up some Little Caesars pizza probably.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty hungry because I've been here.
Sounds really good.
Sounds really good. I've been here since 3 o'clock this morning, and I'll be in the 10 o'clock newscast tonight. So
there you go.
Yep,
there you go.
Yep.
We're all having a long day, long night, but that's what we do.
So, all right, sir. I'm going to pass the baton back to you.
We'll be wrapping this up here. We've got to take care of some things out there. We know it is whiteout conditions here with radar, but we know that there's also some flooding on the roads. It will be slick tonight. It will be slick probably for the morning commute, but the sunshine does help us here into the region as we go on through. And yes, while we are seeing some of this dry air sneaking on in, this dry slot, it will probably stay more to the south along the I-70 corridor. Still going to keep plenty of snow here along north of I-72, 74. So that may lessen ice to the south, but we really didn't have much along the I-70 corridor, and that will keep those snow totals a little lower down there. But some of this will wrap on in and give folks a finishing glance here. And by 8, 9 o'clock, we should be getting it out of here and starting to clear things off, and it'll be straight work from there for cruises that are out and about. So that's what I got for you here. It is 2:40 now. We did a little update for you. We'll see if we do another Facebook Live. If not, catch WCIA 3 News at 5 and 6 live on the app and on TV. You can stream it on your mobile app there. Watch us on the TV, whether it's antenna or on your TV provider of choice, whatever that may be. We're going to have more updates from the team. We'll have updates from news on some of the wrecks and updates from different stories that are happening, winter weather related and not. And we know that things are right now, we're about in the thick of it out there with the wintry weather here, and will likely stay this way with the blizzard conditions for the next couple of hours before things start to let up a little bit here into the area. So get more of those details online on the WCIA3 Weather and News app. Check out the Winter Storm Live blog and tune in at 5 and 6 for coverage led by Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for checking on in. We'll be checking through your reports. You can also let us know if you've got any photos or not. Stuff like that on our Facebook page, WCIA3 News. Take care. Have a great and safe